What's up, everybody? Erebus81 here with Black Horizon Gaming. Today we've loaded up some Elite Dangerous. I've played quite a bit of this game already. Obviously, I'm at Jacques Station in Colonia. For those of you that know where that is, you'll have some idea of the distance I've traveled already. For those of you that don't, we'll get into that later. I'm actually going to be making the trip from Colonia back to the bubble, the bulk of human-occupied space. So throughout this video series, as I kind of make videos on that trip, you'll gain some idea of the time it takes to get from point A to point B in this game. If you don't already know, it is a scaled representation of the Milky Way galaxy. It's absolutely massive. There's actually more star systems, planets, and moons to discover than anybody is ever going to be able to see throughout the life of this game. It's never going to happen. Nobody's going to find all of it. Anyway, without wasting too much time on intros here, I'm going to jump right into getting our trip kicked off. This first video in the series really is just going to be getting underway. Throughout follow-up videos in the series, I might stop and see some sights. There's going to be plenty of that along the way back to the bubble. But right now we're not going to be too technical. We're just going to get the ship airborne again and start getting you familiar with some of just the basics of travel. So let's jump out of my camera suite here. I'm actually on the bridge of my ship, the Asp Explorer, which I'll show you real quick. This one I've modified for pure exploration. Does have shields, no weapons. The frameshift drive has been greatly enhanced. It's a top tier frameshift drive with engineering done to it. I've got fuel scoops, pretty advanced sensor suites. Bunch of other stuff I've thrown in that was aftermarket that wasn't on the stock ship when I originally purchased it. I've probably dumped as many credits into modifying this ship as I did just buying the stock model originally. So, very expensive ship. It's costly. Well worth it though if you're gonna get into this game and take long hauls like this. Anywho, jumping back out of that, the first thing we need to do is go ahead and get our navigation set up. Go ahead and plot a course to Polo Harbor, which, like I said, is the first leg of our journey. To do that, we're going to open up our galaxy map. Now, the system that we're going to... just going to do a search here. Easiest way to pull it up. I have this written down over to one side here because there's no way you're gonna remember this shit just off the top of your head, especially if you're like me and it's been a while since you've fired this up. I've actually been docked at Colonia for months now. There is no fast travel in this game, so wherever you happen to leave it, that's where you're going to pick up at when you come back to it, if you come back to it. Let's get this info put in for Polo Harbor here. And the station we're going to be landing at is actually a planetary outpost. It's not an orbital station like the one that we're on. Jacques is one of the large orbitals you'll see as we exit. In fact, I might even flip a quick U-turn when we leave port and show you the station itself before we blast out of this system. Alright. So there's our destination. Pull up the system map here. And there is our planetary outpost. Should be 2A, yeah. Zoom in on that. God, it's been a while since I've done this. Polo Harbor. I'm going to set that into our navigation. And we need to make sure... Okay. Stars are already good. Long trips like this, one of the reasons I have a fuel scoop on board this ship is that between here and there are no stations anywhere around. The only way I'm going to be able to keep fuel on the ship is to scoop it from stars, and there are only certain star classes you can scoop from, which are Oscar through Mike. So as long as you plot your course with the filter set to pick out those stars, you're going to have fueling options all throughout your trip. And if you do take long hauls like this, I strongly encourage you to refuel at every star that you jump to. We'll feature a little bit of that in this video. I may refuel at the first star before we get underway and go ahead and include that so you can see what that's all about. Refueling is done on the fly. You just have to be within the star's corona to scoop fuel. It's kind of an automated, passive thing. You'll see when we get there. But anyway, now that we have a course set... Oh, actually... Oh my god. We don't have a course set. Thank you. Predictive text. Okay. Or did we set it? No, we didn't. Okay, yeah. So once you've got your destination selected, pull this back up, make sure it's all good. Okay, yeah, we're still locked in. You have to plot the route, which I didn't do. Sometimes it takes a minute, depending on how complicated the route is, because it's got to plot a course through different star systems along the way. And it's doing this in real time. The whole game is in real time. I'll show you that on the dashboard once we back out of here. Anyway, there's our route. As you can see, it is incredibly huge. There's our galaxy and the 2 points that we're going to be traveling between, which is just over 4,700 light years. So we're traveling a long way just in the first leg. And it's going to be a long way back to the bubble of the Sol system. But we're only worrying about the first leg of this trip today. Anyway, as I was saying about real time, you can see the date is May 7th. The year is jumped forward, obviously. It's set in a future year. But May 7th, 3304, the clock never stops running. It runs off UTC, same as NASA does. Anyway, I think we've talked enough for the first part of this, so let's go ahead and get airborne. Alright, pilot ourselves out of Jacques Station here, show you the station itself, and then we're out. we're speeding. I know. Go ahead and clear the entryway there. So ships do come and go constantly. Collisions are bad. They frown upon it. There is an authority at these space stations where if you break the rules, they will blow you clear out of space. We don't want that to happen. That's bad. That's very bad. So here's our space station that we just departed from. Jacques Station in Colonia. Most of the massive space stations like this, they work on an orbital ring similar to this one, but they do come in different shapes, slightly different sizes. Just depends on where you're at. Go ahead and orient onto our first jump goal here. Yeah, we're going to clear that just fine. The planet that Jacques Station happens to orbit, ringed gas giant. Let's see, are we far enough out we can speed up a bit? Nope. That's alright. We'll keep our speed slow, at least until we clear mass lock, and then we'll start to increase the throttle a bit. Which we just did. I think you're mass locked about 5 kilometers in. Yeah, we're still speeding. Fine. We're far enough out now. Let's just go ahead and engage frame shift. Make our first jump. Throttle up. And fuel scoop.
Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
And that is all there is to fuel scooping. Again, if you do that every jump, you're never going to run out of fuel, no matter how far you're traveling. Always a good idea to have a fuel scoop for long hauls. But anyway, we have a long way to go, and I'm going to spare you guys the bulk of the space flight because it's going to be, as I said, over 4,700 light years of repetitive fuel scooping and jumping. So we'll pick this back up. I'll probably just join the video once we reach our destination and dock at space station, or planetary outpost in this case. So I'll see you guys soon. Enjoy.
Frameshift drive charging.
What's up, everybody? We're 10 jumps out from Polo Harbor right now. I thought this would be a good spot to pick it up and cover a few things that I didn't mention in the beginning of this video. As you can see, we've been flying for a while. It's now 2108 UTC. First thing, let's let these engines quiet down a bit. There we go. First things first, you may have noticed I'm firing off my Discovery scanner, which I wasn't doing in the beginning of this video, but it's a good thing to do when you're traveling, especially long hauls. Even if you're not stopping to really take a look at anything, just firing off that basic Discovery scan equals credits later on. You can sell that cartography data next time you make port, and we'll go over that once we actually land at this next destination. Second thing I'm going to do while we're on the way is go a little bit more in detail regarding fuel scooping and some do's and don'ts and emergency backup if something does go wrong. So let's go ahead and kick this next jump off and we'll go over that.
Frameshift drive charging.
Come on, charge up.
4, 3,
There we go.
1.
Fuel scooping is kind of a game. It's a balance between scoop rate and your heat levels, which you can see in the indicator just at the top of our heads-up display there. You have to get close enough to get a good scoop rate so that you don't spend too much time refueling, but at the same time, make sure you don't overheat your ship. If you overheat your ship or get too close to the star, what happens is you start taking damage, internal damage to your systems, even to the shell frame of your ship. If you look at the left-hand side of my HUD, you'll see a couple of markers that say heat sink. Those are your emergency backups if you do happen to get too close to a star and it pulls you out of super cruise. Everything starts sparking, smoking, warning bells are going off, and you're in deep shit. You deploy your weapon hardpoints, which in this case are my heat sinks, not actual weapons, and start firing off heat sinks to cool the reactor down, cool your ship down. Can really save your ass in a bind and get you out of a tight spot, keep you from going into a total meltdown or exploding, which is always bad. Anyway, let's keep kicking off there, and
Frameshift drive charging.
we'll just kind of blow through the rest of this since we're almost there. Not to mention, this was a good opportunity to show you just how repetitive space travel really is. In this game, anyway. Can't refuel at this star.
Frameshift drive charging.
Also, you may have noticed that our destination is actually in a nebula. That nebula right up ahead of us.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fuel scooping.
Now, since we weren't able to scoop at the last star, we've got to spend a little bit more time scooping fuel at this one.
Fuel scooping complete.
Not too much, as long as we get a good scoop rate.
Frameshift drive charging.
Let's see, we got 7 jumps.
4, 3, 2, 1. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Also, you might have noticed I do have a bobblehead
Frameshift drive
on
charging.
my dashboard, and if you're wondering why, because I can. I actually call him Bob. He's my friend in the cold, dark loneliness of space. Tom Hanks had Wilson. I have Bob.
3, 2, 1. Fuel scooping. Fuel scooping complete.
Yay.
Frameshift drive charging.
And we're close enough now. I don't think I'm going to worry about any more fuel scoops.
3, 2, 1.
I love blue stars and white stars. Those things are awesome.
Frameshift drive charging. Four, three, two, Frameshift drive charging.
No, I will not slow down. But thank you for the suggestion.
Four, three, two, one.
Screw it. Let's go ahead and scoop just a little bit more fuel.
Scooping.
That'll work.
Disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Now we're good.
Four, three, two, one. Frameshift drive charging.
And here we come on, coming up on our destination. Jesus.
Four, three, two, one.
Polo Harbor. Hello. Just a quick tip for any aspiring pilots out there. If you're coming into a space station or a planet and you don't want to commit the sin of the loop of shame, you want to cut your throttle back to about 75%, around 8 to 10 seconds out. So right about there. Speed's dropping. And this is a planetary outpost, so we'll be doing a surface landing for this particular station. And looks like we need, there we go. Get lined up on it and bring us back around.
Orbital flight engaged.
Yay. We're going to hold orbital flight for a little while. Close in on Polo Harbor itself. Keep this real shallow so we keep our speed up. Once we have Polo Harbor in sight, we can start a descent and go into a glide, drop out of orbital cruise. It's just over the horizon now, so pretty quick. Here we go. Oh, calm down. We're not going to impact. See? Still about 100 kilometers out, but we're moving at about 2.5 kilometers per second, so the distance gets covered pretty quick. Alright. Finally, we're here, Bob. We made it. I know you're tired of talking to me after 90-something jumps.
Please ensure you follow standard docking procedures before landing.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll request your damn docking permission. It's another thing, any space station, surface port that you land at, you'll have to request docking permission before you can dock. You can manually land if you like. I don't. I can, I just don't. My preference is auto docking computer. Because it's 3304, people. Alright, let's go ahead and contact Polo Harbor, request docking.
Permission authorized. Proceed to Bay 05. Automated docking initiated.
You gotta love that nebulous sky, too.
Landing gear deployed.
Descend to flight level 300.
Alright, let's get this bitch into the hangar.
Docking successful. Before landing checklist. We hope you enjoy your stay.
Okay, once you've made port, a couple of things you want to do, both of which you're going to find in Starport Services. First of all, let's top our fuel off. Then you're going to want to go into Advanced Maintenance. Correct any problems that need to be fixed there, such as your integrity, paintwork, anything that you need in the way of minor repairs. We didn't take any serious damage this trip. I didn't have any problems with star refueling, so no need for major repairs. In the event that something like that happens, I do have an auto field maintenance unit, so it can actually do some field repairs. Not all systems can be repaired with an auto field maintenance unit, but the majority of them can be, so it's a good thing to have if you're going to do long hauls. I'd say that auto field maintenance, fuel scoop, maxed out frame shift drive, heat sink launchers, advanced discovery scanner and detailed surface scanners. Those are pretty much your essentials for long hauls. Anyway, the next thing that we want to do in Starport Services, all that cartography data that we collected with our discovery scanner, we want to go in and sell it, make some money off of our travel at least. So even though we're just going from point A to point B, it doesn't mean you still can't make some credits in the process. Assuming the cartographer ever loads. Any day now would be great, buddy. Jesus, I hope I'm not frozen. I guess we'll just give it a minute. There we go. Okay. See this page here, we're gonna get just over 2 million credits for. Not bad. Another couple of million for this page. And that's the end of it. So we made a little over 4 million credits just for scanning as we flew. Didn't even have to stop. All you have to do is fire off that discovery scanner to log celestial bodies, things like planets, moons, stars. And the next time you reach port, you'll be able to sell that cartography data to a station. And most of the time, depending on the distance, you get a pretty penny for it. Anywho, fellas, let's jump back into our camera suite here. That pretty much does it for the first leg of our trip. Again, that was from Jacques Station in Colonia to Polo Harbor. First leg in the Colonia Connection Highway back to the bubble, human-occupied space. I don't know yet if I'm going to do a video like this for every single leg of the journey. You guys, if you're seeing this video, feel free to comment below and let me know if you'd like to see individual videos for each leg, or if you'd just like to pick this series up once we're back in human-occupied space and we have more variety as far as video content, because right now it's just going to be a lot of the same repetitive travel. Again, that was about 4,700 light years, and we have another 16 to 17,000 light years to go before we get back to the bubble, so it's a long ass trip. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back again with some more Elite Dangerous, headed back towards the bubble, and not the Sol system. I don't have a permit to go to Earth. Can you believe that shit, Bob? You have to have a permit to go to Earth. Anyway, see you guys next time. Enjoy.